What's going on, y'all? You're back. I'm your host, Paco, and you're listening to Occupy the Media. That's what we do best here. That's what we got to do. The media is the biggest fence towards freedom. The biggest hurdle we have to freedom is the media. We change the media, we change the laws, and we can change the times, you know? So we got this new headline. It just came out probably about, about 30 minutes ago. Hugh Hefner. GOP candidates have declared war against sex. Hugh Hefner is not too hype about Ron Paul. Doesn't care too much for Ron Paul. It says, let's see. Hefner quotes Rick Santorum's description of birth control as a license to do things in a sexual realm that is counter to how things are supposed to be. Ron Paul was no better, Hefner continues, believing that the birth control pill did not cause immorality, but that immorality creates the problem of wanting to use the pill. Well, first of all, Hugh Hefner, that's his personal opinion. Ron Paul isn't trying to stop you from getting birth control or stop any women from using birth control. He doesn't want the government paying for it and having the government involved, and I agree. The government shouldn't be involved. Besides, look at the side effects that these birth control pills have. You know? I mean, the way that they affect the female body, as many times as I've heard, recalls, the FDA got to look into them and all that. I mean, whatever, man. You should like Ron Paul because Ron Paul believes in your freedom to feel whatever the way you want. So Hugh Hefner's off with that one, but let's see. Which is amazing, you know, because Hugh Hefner kind of like was somebody to kind of like push it to the limit, you know, during his day by releasing releasing those Playboy magazines, and that was a sense of him wanting to be free, express his freedom. And Ron Paul would have been all for that. He wouldn't have endorsed it, but he would have allowed it to happen. He would have had no problem with it, like some politicians did, or would, because they're all, you know, Christian and in the church and everything, like Rick Santorum. But anyways, Hugh Hefner ain't doing much either way. What was the other thing I wanted to jump into? Okay, yeah, I saw this nice little post on Ron Paul Forum, some good news. It was posted April 21st by Fly Beach. Oklahoma District 4 Ron Paul Revolution delegate sweep. Today, Ron Paul swept the entire Oklahoma District 4 convention. The Ron Paul Revolution continues in the Sooner State. There was nothing the establishment could do to stop the surgical precision of the Ron Paul movement as we swept the entire District 4 convention. Shock and awe was the order of the day, and Ron Paul now dominates Oklahoma. The spirit of Ron Paul from Oklahoma District 3, 4, and 5 is going to Tampa. Next, we will fight to fill the slate in the upcoming election of the at-large Oklahoma delegates. Ron Paul needs delegates, so the Sooner State delivers. So that's some more good news, man. But, you know, the media, again, why don't you run as an independent? I know you're getting all the delegates. I know you're winning as a Republican. I know you've been elected, 10, 11 times as a Republican. But why don't you run as an independent? I don't get it. It's amazing. So let's see what's on the media. Maybe I should start doing that sometimes. Just responding to what's on TV. I got it here right in front of me. You're talking about the Walmart bribery investigation on CNN. Let's see. Martin Bashir's on MSNBC talking to this. I forgot this clown's name. This guy had something to say about Ron Paul. You can check that out on my YouTube page, actually. The guy that's on MSNBC right now, he's talking about Ron Paul basically being a racist, not caring about, you know, blacks and poor and all that. Not even taking into the fact that Ron Paul said he didn't write none of that stuff. Some more people in the media you can't trust that you might have thought you could. I actually used to like this guy, things he used to talk about. His last name is Dyson, I think. Black guy, always talking about black issues, I believe. But yeah, MSNBC is in love with Obama. So anybody that threatens Obama, they got to take him down, you know. MSNBC is very scared of Ron Paul because they know Ron Paul is the real threat. Let's see. Romney coverage more positive than Obama, 3-1. That's what they're saying on MSNBC. Well, wow, that's something to talk about. That's news. I swear, man, your guys' headlines and titles you guys come up with and subject matter is so ridiculous. It's like kids, man. oh, what should Mitt Romney do? And who gets? Let's talk about what he said, she said, and what does that make you feel? And what should they say? And all this stuff that don't matter. Let's talk about the voting record. Let's talk about this economy, the Fed. But no, they don't care. All right, well, I think they're going to a break, so I'll keep an eye on the media, see if there's anything good going on. We'll respond to that. Let me check out some other headlines I was going to see here. So check out Doug Weed blog. Ron Paul wins in Iowa and Minnesota. Romney in a panic. In the Des Moines Register, check that out. It's an article. Ron Paul backers sweep into GOP party rolls in Iowa. So that's a good article. If you didn't see any footage of Ron Paul in Philadelphia, you can go to the Daily Pennsylvanian. They got a little bit of footage on there. Or you can go to my Facebook page, Paco Elijah, or my Facebook, Paco757, and you can catch it on there. Also, my Twitter, occupied the MSM. So hit me up, check me out. If you've been to any of these conventions, any voter fraud going on, and you're listening, I want to talk to you. We're right now, unfortunately, we got our phones down for about the last week, and that's why I haven't been doing any interviews. And so we should have them up and get going well soon, real soon, hopefully this week before the weekends. And I plan on doing some more interviews. And, getting some more information out there. Keep this revolution going. Don't forget to donate, RonPaul2012.com if you haven't already. We still got to keep it going. I know it's tough. It's hard. We're all struggling. We in the grind. But Ron Paul needs our help, man. He's been fighting for us since some of us was born. You know. So let's see. We got a couple more minutes before we go to the break. I want to play a clip. Let's see which clip do I want to play. Well, we got about 3 more minutes. So let's see. Guys, check this out. Sarah Palin was on Fox News. Sounded like Ron Paul a little bit. I think that might be a little interesting. Let's see what she got to say. Let's see.
Sounds like
That's what Ron Paul does. He makes people change their tone.
Energy as a weapon. Access to affordable energy and ethical trade, that's the real all-of-the-above approach, and it is key to America's security. And another thing, with America's unsustainable $16+ trillion debt, there is now talk about dumping the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency, and that's the international currency that's used to buy and
Who was talking about that? Oh, that's right. Mitt Romney was talking about that, right?
sell oil. If that happens, folks, we're going to feel the wages of inflation everywhere, especially at the pump. That, in turn, trickles down to everything else in our economy. So it's one more reason to get our government debt under control with sound monetary policy that...
And who's been talking about sound monetary policy?
...doesn't try to inflate away debt with currency manipulation or gimmick like quantitative easing. So we presented the solution.
No, Ron Paul presented the solution. You're just hijacking part of the solution, trying to sound good, trying to sound smarter. Sarah Palin's a clown. She's a joke. But, yeah, this is what Ron Paul does. He got everybody changing their tone. I was talking about on one of my shows last week how they were trying to address Iran, comparing it to the Cold War and how it's worse than the Cold War on CNN. They had a little segment. You can catch that on my YouTube. It's a joke. They're all doing that because Ron Paul is infiltrating the minds of everyone and so many people. And so they know that they got to do their best to counteract the stuff that Ron Paul is saying because people ain't buying their lies. So, again, don't get tricked. I be seeing some Ron Paul supporters post on these comments, yeah, Sarah Palin likes Ron Paul, and she's for Ron Paul, and she's nice, man. Stop being a clown, man. Don't get joked. Don't get tricked. Sarah Palin is part of the program, just like anybody else. You know, if she says anything good about Ron Paul or anything great about Ron Paul, it's just part of the show. It's just her part. It's just part of the script. That's all this is. It's just a game playing their part. We just saw how Orrin Hatch, the senator or the congressman, was talking bad about libertarians as soon as he goes to convention, talking highly of Ron Paul. Oh, well, you was talking about punching in the mouth, something like that earlier. That's a joke, man. Anyways, I'm Paco. You're listening to Occupy the Media. We'll be back to finish the show in a little bit.